Hi, I'm Yohan John. I'm a computational neuroscientist, a research scientist at the Neural Systems Lab across the street at Sargent. And today I'm going to give you a little intro to the kind of computational modeling that I do with my collaborators, including Basilis, who you just heard from. So this is going to be about a computational model of schizophrenia that I've done with Helen Barbas, Dan Bullock, and Basilis. Schizophrenia is a complicated disorder, as you all know, and in recent years, inhibition has come up as a major candidate in terms of mechanisms that seem to be going wrong. But there isn't yet a consensus on which inhibitory neurons seem to be dysfunctional. But luckily, of the three candidates that I've come across, they all more or less find themselves in the same circuit, this corticothalamic loop. So you have parvalbumin neurons, calbindin neurons, and the TRN. And this corticothalamic loop motif repeats for all cortical areas. And in this motif, the TRN is particularly interesting. It inhibits the thalamus, and so therefore it serves as a kind of gatekeeper, regulating what the cortex sees of thalamic signaling. And because of its connectivity, it can serve as a mediator of competition between parallel corticothalamic loops. And because of this connectivity and gating, Francis Crick called it as a possible attentional searchlight. So the way this works is, so there was a recent physiological study showing that persistent activity in deep layers of cortex is actually needed to make sure that the object being, that the signals go from thalamus to cortex. So this basically biases the competition. So if you want to maintain attention on a particular signal, you need persistent activity in cortex that helps you block out noise and distractors in parallel corticothalamic loops. So we use this as a basis for studying visual attention in schizophrenia. So as it turns out, schizophrenia patients have difficulty maintaining and holding their attention on a moving target or a fixed target in the presence of a distractor when presented on a screen. So what we did is we set up this circuit to perform these two tasks and systematically disrupted each of them, basically by weakening the amount of inhibition that they offer. And in these task simulations, in the first half, there's normal performance, and then we weaken the inhibition. So you see the smooth pursuit task here, and the fixation task here, where the blue line is the target and the red is the model's eye, and here you have the distractor. So in all three of these interneuron manipulations, what you see is the performance is fine, and then as soon as you have the disruption, you see the kind of erratic eye movement and susceptibility to distractors that you see in schizophrenia patients. So we got the behavior to work, and interestingly, we also see there are some subtle behavioral differences as well as neural differences in each of these manipulations that we conducted. And this ties in with a growing picture that schizophrenia is not just one monolithic neural disorder, but could involve a spectrum of symptoms that arise through non-overlapping mechanisms. And since the corticothalamic loop is a repeated motif, obviously there are variations depending on the cortical microcircuit, but because of this repetition of motif, we could use this kind of disruption or analogous disruptions to start thinking about other symptoms, including cognitive disruptions and out-of-order thinking. Thank you.